Greetings and salutations. Welcome to a new episode at a new time of Fan Central right here on CVM Television. Tonight is going to be a packed night. We waste absolutely no time. Now, a few weeks ago, the man they called the Professor Rene Simoes was in Jamaica to promote his new book, a book that chronicles that fantastic 98 campaign when Jamaica qualified for the World Cup in France. He came to the studios of CVM TV, sat with Jordan Fort. Take a listen.
All right, thank you so much for deciding to sit down with us. Rene Simoes, thank you so much for being here.
It's my pleasure, Jordan, to be here. You know, Jamaica is I don't know if my second country. We mix sometimes. And the love my family has about Jamaica is unbelievable. Yesterday, my daughter called, Daddy, I am very proud you are here. There is one thing I don't like it. I said, what's I did? She said, no, I am not there. With you, we have to be there, Daddy.
Yes. All right, so we're here on the occasion of a book launch.
Yes.
A book that's launched from your perspective.
Yep.
And it's called The Impossible Dream, sharing the untold stories behind the Reggae Boys' historic 1998 World Cup journey.
Yep.
Of course, many Jamaicans who were alive then, you know, can feel the euphoria when you mention the Reggae Boys qualifying for the World Cup back in 1998. Why did you decide to tell this story now?
This is not a book about me, you know. I have books. I write every day what happened in my life. I have this story there. So it was not difficult to write the book. But I didn't have a time. I moved for Trinidad, Tobago, Costa Rica, Iran, and Brazil. So last year, when I came here, Box Hill invited me to go to Mandeville. I received the key of the parish. So I said, hey, man, we have to write the book. Now it's the right time. So I went for Ray and Neville and discussed to them the possibilities. They introduced me to Ian Handel, so the editor. I said, I have the book read. So in 1 month, I put everything together and give it to you. But the book is not talk about me. The first thing we have to remember is Captain Horace Burrell. This is the man. He was the man believed before everybody, even me, because I didn't want to come to Jamaica because I knew Jamaica was below to zero, like bobsleds move. So I didn't want. I refused.
Yeah.
But this guy was amazing. I hate him. He hates me. He was disappointed because he thought about Professor Simoes is a big guy, strong. When he looked at me, he was very disappointed. And I refused to come here. He was disappointed too. But what I want is two things. First, the people feel again what they felt in that time. And who was not born, the new generation, he uncovered strength they have. I have worked in 7 different countries. There is no people like Jamaica when you talk about the strength within. It's unbelievable, unbelievable. So, and the game now is changed a lot. Football is not the same the 90s. It's totally different. In that time, you play in the 60 meters, 70 meters. Now it's a 40 meters and it's space by space. So you need to be very clever how to make decisions, how to approach, how to take the intelligence, emotional intelligence, physically as we are. That's an advantage for us. So I think Jamaica has everything, but they have to believe in themselves. Yesterday, I went to talk to national team, and I told, guys, let me tell you something. We didn't have anything. The first day I gave a train, there is International, Milan, was Liverpool shirts, everybody. I say, what's going on here? This is not a team. So I called Captain Burrell and say, listen, tomorrow I want everybody as a unit, a team. So we don't have a money. I don't care. It's your problem, it's not my problem.
Yeah.
The day before, the other day I say for him, listen, I need 30 balls. Coach, we don't have money. This is your problem, it's not my problem. So Captain, every time I put one situation, he solved the problem. And I told the guys, hey man, you have everything now. What you need, it's the players believe it's possible to go again for World Cup. There is no United States, there is no Canada, there is no Mexico. So you have 3 big dogs outside. They don't run for that. So point 1, players believe they can do it. Second, federation be involved with players. I talked to many players there. I talked to staff, the coach, Steve, I talked to him. So the federation has to become strong and say, listen, this is the plans. Let's make the plans. Point. The private sector, where is the private sector? I need the private sector come, the government come on board. And the people from Jamaica, I talk to some people, he say, no, coach, no, you have to make this.
Yes.
It's not only the football players, not only the coach, it's a mastermind. It's everybody decide together and say, we will do.
But you, when you came here in 1990, was it 1994? 1994, and the book is called The Impossible Dream. So it was seen as something impossible. Jamaica had never qualified for the World Cup before. But what inspired that belief in you? As you said, you turned down the invitation initially. What eventually inspired that belief in you?
First thing, in God, nothing is impossible. It's first point. The second point is Captain Burrell. We have to praise, and everybody has to understand this guy who looks a mad, a crazy guy in the beginning for me, and the tough nose too, he was unbelievable. He never believed in nose. And I remember we went to Brazil, you play 18 games. We lost 6-0, 7-0, 8-0. When I come here, I sit with him and say, Captain, we have to take a very difficult decision. If you want to think and keep dreaming for World Cup, we have to send out 10 players. And the most famous players, I go send, I bring the under 23 and start. So after 3 months, we have a Caribbean Cup here in Jamaica. I don't know what happened. With this team, I went to Brazil, we go to be a champion. But I don't know what about qualification for World Cup. We lost for Cuba. If you remember, Cuba disqualify us. So, and the captain keep strong. Everybody want to kick me out. Every time when I give some speech, I say 50% of the Jamaican people didn't want me here. And another 50% want me go out. So only Captain Burrell decides, no, the doctor prescribed 4 years medicine for me. If it don't work, after 4 years, but I will not touch him. So he was very strong. So this is what the message the book want pass for everybody. When you take a decision for your dream, work hard, determination, dedication, discipline. This is what Captain had, and I want to pass this for the new generation. When I wrote the book, I say, I'm not talking about the old generation. They knew what happened, and they have the lessons, but the new generation, they must understand that they have uncovered strengths, and they have to go there and say, hey, come on, you can do it.
How much do you wish for it to inspire them, though? Because, as you said, the majority of the players now, perhaps, weren't even born or were very young when the Reggae Boys qualified for the World Cup in 1998. Damian Lowe, who is on the team now, his father, Anandi Lowe,
Yep.
was
I
a
met
part of
him
that
yesterday. It was
qualification.
incredible.
And there are younger players on that team who weren't born, and they probably heard the story of Jamaica qualifying, but they don't know what happened behind the scenes, what it took to get there. And you know, we've changed generations now. They're used to smartphones and getting everything done quickly. They have big contracts, big money. How easy is it for this kind of inspiration to really resonate with them, you think?
I have to tell them that I saw Mercedes-Benz, BMWs, everything there. The guy will not be recognized for the BMW or Mercedes-Benz he has. I have a Mercedes-Benz, but Jamaica don't recognize me because I have a Mercedes-Benz. They don't recognize me because I have restaurants in Brazil. They don't recognize me because I work in Trinidad and Tobago, in Iran, in Brazil. They recognize me because I did something extraordinary, special. So this is the message you have to pass for them. How you can be recognized, what legacy you expect from yourself. Because, okay, you have a money. Okay, that's your money. Who care about that? Nobody care about your money, your car, your house. That's yours. But your legacy is be forever. So this is the message they have to understand. If I do something extraordinary, I will live and will be recognized for my entire life. I can be recognized. Now it's okay, but what about tomorrow? So this is what the book try to show for the new generation. And what problem you have yourself? I don't see a problem. Principles is there, discipline is there, the strategy you change. The way I treat my players now, my daughters now, my son now, the strategy is a little bit different. But the principles and the disciplines that you cannot negotiate with them.
So there was part one of that fantastic chat between Professor Rene Simoes and Jordan Ford. Part two comes up right after this break. Don't go anywhere because we have some other interesting interviews to come after we're finished with the man that Jamaicans love to call the Professor. Welcome back, and welcome back to part two of that discussion between Rene Simoes and our own colleague Jordan Fort. He's promoting a new book, The Incredible Dream. Let's hear a little bit more of the professor with Jordan.
In terms of some of the gems in the book, I know, you're going to release the book, and we're going to buy the book and read it and find out some of the untold stories, because that's the title. But if you can share with us, before even the launch of the book, give us one of those stories that really stand out in the build-up to the qualification for the World Cup.
The first one was the way I meet Captain Burrell. Was very strange, and I was very upset with him because he thought I was taxi driver and I have to carry on his luggage. And I was mad with that guy, and he keep in that loud sound. He speak like a military man. What is that? Where is that? When? I say, man, thanks God I didn't accept to go, because it was João Havelange, president of FIFA, that put my name here. But when they talk to me, I say, no, I don't want to go to Jamaica. So I want to stick Captain Burrell. So when you sit to take a coffee, I say for him, hey man, what do you want? He said, I want to go to World Cup. So I take a napkin and I put 10 points. I say, listen, I go to give you 10 points. If you do these 10 points, maybe I not guarantee you that you'll be in the World Cup. But if you don't do it, I guarantee you'll never go. So I put the points. American Airlines, oh my God, was 16 million. Grace Kennedy was fantastic. Bargain rent a car with Michael da Costa, Lloyd Kelvin, Empire Supermarket, everybody sponsor players, and you have a food, you have a house. The government help us a lot in the sponsor money to pay the staff, because I didn't want Jamaicans working by nothing, because the coach staff didn't receive money from Jamaica. I don't want everybody work here and they say, hey man, 8 o'clock, why you come 9 o'clock? You say, I don't receive money. I don't want players complaining because they don't have the money. So this is everything put there, and the people must understand this is very important to be a federation, professional federation, in every point. You don't play by nothing. No, you work by your money. Mm-hmm. This is one point. There is a point when Captain Burrell think I could come here by the government. I say, no, you have to give me a contract. Mm-hmm. He sent me a ticket, but no contract. After he sent me a contract, but didn't sign, I say, no, you have to sign the contract. When I come here, say, you have to pay my holidays, you have to pay my chicks, you have to give me a house, car, everything. Oh, I didn't know that. So you signed the contract. I didn't read everything. So it was amazing. When I arrived here for the complex in stadium, there is just a room for Football Federation. I said for him, I will not work here. Get me an office. So he get me a beautiful office with Michael da Costa, so I could take the sponsors and make meetings. Horace Reed was a brilliant guy. He helped me a lot. Cabral was good one, does well. Burt's Bell was a good one. So you make everybody, and the people start to listen to me with my broke English. I still broke, but that time was like, I have a lot job to do. My first interview I gave for Burt's Bell, and he asked, what do you have to do for the, I have a lot job to do. So was a memes in, thanks God, we didn't have cell in that time. Yes. We don't have Instagram because they would kill me. So this is one story. There is other stories out. Walter Boyd's, when it happened, we have to, the Prime Minister, you must have with a bodyguard.
Yes. Yeah, just before we get to that Walter Boyd situation, just for context, Walter Boyd was one of the celebrated players in Jamaica, revered, as skillful. You know, Jamaicans love skill and flair and passion in football. And you decided on the cusp of the World Cup, was it, that Walter Boyd, because of lack of discipline or breaking rules, would not travel with the team, right?
Yeah. No, but to World Cup he went.
Yes.
To World Cup. The last 5 or 6 games, I take a conclusion that with him, we couldn't qualify. He was brilliant. When you play against Zambia, it's unbelievable what this guy did. The Zambia staff come to me and say, what kind of player do you have, man? I say, yeah, he is. He could play Brazil. I have no doubt. The point is, when he was with the team, he was quite good. But he went out. When he returned different minds, not different football. By football, he is brilliant. But the way adjust the team, so I decided, no, we have to take another way without him. So this was traumatic, and the police department discovered there is a plan to kill me. And when they talk to me, they say, there is a plan to kill you. I say, Jesus saves. I don't need anything. But there is one thing very interesting. The day was planned was against Santos. We play against Santos from Brazil. And I sat in the bench. When I look my staff, all my staff, Brazilians, Jamaicans, they are far away from me. I say for them, hey man, why you don't call? No. The guy shot there, and they missed. They couldn't. was funny time.
Yes.
But it was this.
And then, as you said, the government stepped in because Jamaicans were outraged at the treatment of Walter Boyd.
Yeah.
And then he ended up traveling to France for the World Cup.
And the point is, I have some very good and close friends who still don't believe that nobody talked to me about put Walter Boyd in the list. They think Captain Burrell or the Prime Minister P.J. Patterson, they forced me to put, no. This was a hands of God's hands work. Because he went to New York, he take the same flights, and he cry. I say, no, forget it. We played the game for the 11 from Caribbean. After we are in the hotel, sign autograph. He sat beside me, signed me. The people asked more autograph for him than to me. And he cried. I went to my room. No. The day after, I wake and say, listen, I am not in charge of the country. Let me see what my team. So I put a list with 24 names. Boyd was included 24. We have to take only 23. So I give one paper for each player and say, choose the 23 players. Just 3 players didn't put Walter Boyd in the list. And the 3 players come to me. They are from England. They say, coach, we don't know the guy. If he is good, if he is bad, we didn't play. We didn't put him. So the another 20 players, they put a Walter Boyd in the list. I say, no, I don't have this right to take the guy. Once my players, if the players don't put his name in the list, I will keep him here. But thanks God, because the helicopter from Defense Force was flying over the Federation. I didn't understand what's going on. When finished the call, I went for Captain Burrell. Captain Burrell was, thank you, God. Thank you, Captain. What happened? There is a plan. They go to put fire on my bakeries. Was a chaos. I said, you know that? Yes. Why you didn't tell me? He'd say, I couldn't. Listen, the Prime Minister knew that. Yes. I took my car, went to Prime Minister and said, first, I want to thank you for you not put your finger in my list. But second, I have to tell you, you are responsible for the country. Couldn't get it. Some people die here. you have to tell me this consequence, and I will take decisions, but I knew that. So imagine if I don't put Walter Boyd and something happened and he went to World Cup, has a very nice behavior, we have no problem. 2 years ago, I came here in Mandeville, we play, but I took the number 10 shirt, and when he arrived, I said, care with any shirt. So he played against me with on the other side with the number 10. We have a good relation now.
Yes.
He was a good time.
And how many players do you keep in contact with still from
Ricardo
then?
Gardner is one of the most contacts I have every time, because I do a coaching for coaches in Brazil, in the CBF. And Ricardo, when he went to Harborville, we have some contact. And also there is a beautiful story that he tells in the book. And that I will not tell you. I don't give a spoil. That people read in the book. It's beautiful.
Okay. Well, I mean, it's fantastic to have you here. I was just, I heard a story when I was younger, when the Reggae Boys qualified for the World Cup. I don't quite have the recollection of that. I vaguely remember when Jamaica was playing in the World Cup and the euphoria around, everybody wanted to be in front of a television. Croatia was the first game. And we lost that 3-1.
3-1.
Yes. And then we lost 5-0
for
Argentina. And then it was, and even though at that stage, all Jamaicans knew it wasn't possible to qualify anymore.
Yeah.
In that game against Japan, there was so much excitement when Theodore Whitmore scored twice and Jamaica beat Japan in the World Cup. I mean, one win in the World Cup and
our chance was beat Croatians. All plans we had, I knew you couldn't beat Japan, because Japan, if you pressure any Japanese, if they make mistake, they kill himself. So I say, if I push them, so they will come down, we beat them. Croatians, they start World Cup sometimes is not in good way. So it was the first game, I was first half finished 1-1. They fight in the change room. I put somebody there close to the change room, was a big fight there. But since it starts, once it starts, second half, he'll take the second goal. And this team was third. He lost for France, was referee's mistake. It was a good, after Croatia was vice champion in Russia. And so it's a good football. And Argentina is Argentina, always.
Yes, always.
And you remember it was 0-0. We got Darry Power, red card, 1-0, second half. I did a mistake. I supposed to do something different in second half. I said, let's guys enjoy the game, put everybody. No, that was my fault. We supposed to lose to Argentina, but not 5-0.
Yeah.
I carry on with me, say, 5-0 is too much.
Yeah.
But we went to Disney with the team. They enjoy himself. I put him again on track, and we beat Japan.
Yes.
Was good memories.
There are two stories. One, I heard that there was a story once where there was a hole or something in the field at the National Stadium, and that you gave an interview and you said, well, they put a hole in the field to bury me, the coach. They wanted to bury the coach in that hole. That's a story I've heard. And the other thing, the story I've heard of when the Prime Minister, as you mentioned, declared a national holiday when the Reggae Boys qualified for the World Cup. So those are things that are indelibly etched in Jamaica's history just through your being here and the team qualifying for the World Cup.
And
in
zero
1997.
crime. 16 November 1996 is a zero crime. Never in Jamaica history this has happened. So today a guy tell this in one story I have in Rene Simoes official. It's my Instagram. I record because he said, do you know you are in the history of Jamaica? Why? Zero crime in that day. This is fantastic.
Fantastic, fantastic. And so happy for you to be here and share with us that story again.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for sitting down with us. Ladies and gentlemen, Rene Simoes, the famed Rene Simoes, who was at the helm and carried Jamaica to that World Cup in France in 1998. Of course, the book, The Impossible Dream, going to be launched, and I'm sure some fond memories will be relived through that book.
Fantastic, although I would have known much of that journey myself. It's a book that, come hell or high water, I want that book in my hands as well. Fascinating time in Jamaica's sporting landscape. We take a break, and when we come back, we have our JPL review, and then we talk to two of the cricketers that represent the Jamaica Scorpions in the just concluded 4-day championship. Stay with us. Welcome back to Fan Central. Now, as we do every week, we take a look at our JPL League, or local Premier League, and we do a little bit of flashback. Now, this week is no different. This segment is brought to you by Sunshine Snacks and ABC Electrical. We look at that now, and then we come back and talk to two of the Scorpion cricketers. Take a look.
JPL Review, powered by Sunshine Snacks and ABC Electrical. After 5 straight games without a win, Arnett Gardens got a much-needed 3-1 victory over Very United, reigniting their Ray and Nephew Jamaica Premier League title push. Rashiki Kelson lit up the Anthony Spalding Sports Complex with a dazzling solo strike in the 14th minute to give the Junglists a first-half edge.
From Rashiki Kelson! Man, oh man, was that special! From the build-up to the finish! Jet heel to get away from the defender! Checked in on his left foot! We thought he was going to cross it, but he had eyes only for the goal, and he found it with a curler!
Fantastic from Rashiki Kelson. Gave Damian Thomas a slip once, twice, looked up, picked his spot, and found it expertly.
Ver, already relegated, showed a spark of pride early in the second half when Brazilian Marcos Roas Filho pounced on a spilled free kick to level the game.
It's a blistering shot, and it will be turned home for a goal. Filho finds the equalizer for Ver United. A wicked, wicked shot that peppered the hands of the goalkeeper, Genevieve Wall. He couldn't hold it.
The Arnett Gardens slow to react twice here. First from the layoff.
But Jaheim Thomas quickly restored Arnett's lead with a cool finish after a slick 1-2 with Fabian Reed.
Yes! Arnett Gardens made that look easy.
If I wanted an example of a stereotypical Arnett Gardens goal, this is one.
Moments later, substitute Warner Brown teed up Roshane Thompson, who smashed home the third.
Onto the score sheet with a minimum of touches. Roshane Thompson, controlled volley from the Warner Brown assist.
Thompson Thompson started it off with his driving run. Gave Fabian Reed some work to do. But work is what he does. And Warner Brown, that cushion pass.
Despite the win, Arnott Gardens head coach Xavier Gilbert wasn't fully satisfied.
I didn't think we were patient enough, and I think at times we were trying to play a little bit too fast. And we allowed them some space in the midfield to play, which I wasn't pleased with, something that we spoke about. But nevertheless, we managed to score. And then after scoring the goal, I didn't think we showed that zest. I thought we relaxed a little bit and didn't move the ball around as we should have, And then Kelson was having a good game over there, and when we get them this side, we're supposed to play out the other way, and we just didn't. We're still trying to force the ball in areas that we're not supposed to.
Veers Lenworth Hyde, meanwhile, hinted that relegation might be the reset his team needs.
We tried to pass the ball today. I think we played well for most parts. Defensively, again, that's what's been hurting us all season. So it's an area in the team where we have to fix, Either we have to strengthen behind there or work more in the defensive third. But I see some glimpses today. But, we just have to work hard. Maybe it's a good thing for us to go down, that we can build that camaraderie and that team spirit and get the vibes up. I think we're not that aggressive. We need to be more intense in our play. We're soft. We need to get tougher in this league, Premier League, a tough football, So they have been baptized this season. Now we just have to take it from there going forward.
The win pushes Arnott up to 70 points, now just 2 behind second place Montego Bay United with 2 games left. Another Clarendon side was sent packing at Anthony Spaulding Sports Complex as reigning champions Cavalier took care of business in the first match of the Easter Monday doubleheader. Chappleton Maroons held firm for over an hour, but their resistance broke in the 66th minute when Gawain Austin accidentally turned the ball into his own net. Dwayne Atkinson then confirmed the 3 points for Cavalier with a late strike in the 89th minute, keeping Chappleton in deep relegation danger. On Sunday, runaway leaders Mount Pleasant continued their dominant run in the JPL with a 2-0 win over North Coast rivals Montego Bay United at Drax Hall. Nicholas Nelson scored in the 55th minute and Raheem Edwards added another in the 67th. The win pushed Mount Pleasant's lead to 15 points with a game in hand still to play.
When you put in the work during the week and you see this attitude of the players, you can't worry about anything. It's just up to the players to go out every game and execute. We made a game. Especially in the second half, we start playing things. I thought we were going to deal with that in the first half. They didn't come to the middle a lot. They played a lot of wing ball. We have to be contained. Second half, I thought we just go all over the field and we don't play a quality like most players. We let them play like this. You get hurt.
In another crucial fixture, Mullines United took a big step towards safety with a 3-1 victory over Racing United. Nickashay Murray opened the scoring in the 3rd minute, while Marlon Pennicook struck twice in the 53rd and 63rd minutes to put Mullines in control. Giovanni Cunningham pulled one back for Racing in the 77th. With the win, Mullines moved 4 spots up to 9th place, leaping out of the relegation zone. Racing United's playoff hopes, however, took a hit as they remain outside the top 6. Meanwhile, Waterhouse held firm to their 6th and final playoff spot with a convincing 2-0 win over 4th place Portmore United. Andre Fletcher gave Waterhouse the lead in the 17th minute before Nicholas Hamilton converted a penalty in the 24th. Waterhouse now sit on 55 points, 1 ahead of Tivoli Gardens, but Tivoli kept the pressure on with a 2-1 win over Harbourview. Barrington Price scored in the 29th minute and Nikolai Fuller added another in the 71st to secure the points. Colorado Murray had pulled Harbourview level in the 40th minute, but the hosts couldn't find another goal. And Humble Lion slipped into the relegation zone after a 1-1 draw with Dunbeholden. Malachi Douglas scored early for Dunbeholden, while Stephen Barnett equalized from the spot in the 51st minute. Ronaldo Adams for Fan Central.
JPL Review, powered by Sunshine Snacks and ABC Electrical.
All right, there. Thank you very much, Ronaldo, for bringing our JPL review. Now we talk some cricket. Now, the Jamaica Scorpions finished a disappointing 5th in the standings in the just concluded 4-day West Indies Championship. Not the kind of position that we would have hoped for, but it was an improvement on what happened last year. But 2 Jamaicans that we have in studio tonight could feel very pleased with their efforts in the competition. We're talking about Javel Glenn to my immediate left, and to his left is Brad Barnes. Now, Javel finished with 478 runs at an average of 43. Certainly, you could say the find of the tournament from a Jamaican perspective. And then Brad Barnes, 24 wickets at 25 apiece, and just a shade under 20 with the bat. We picked their brains a little bit about how they thought their season would have gone. Javel, we'll start with you. 470-something runs at 43 apiece. Did you expect that kind of season?
To be honest, put God first in whatever I do. But to be honest, if the season has started and someone tell me that I'm going to finish 478 runs, I'll take that every day.
Right. You take that?
Yeah.
You played the first game and then got dropped for the second game. I think you made 6-0 in that first game. Having gotten dropped for game 2, what were you thinking? Were you like, oh, or were you determined to prove yourself if you get back in the team?
I was just waiting an opportunity to come, and whenever it comes, I take it with both hands. All
right, we come back to that. Brad Barnes, 24 wickets bowling those off spinners at 25 apiece. You had a really, really good season with the ball. Talk to us about that.
I think it was a very good season for me. Seeing that I wasn't bowling for the past couple of years, and I started bowling back this year, so I'm really happy with the efforts and the returns for my bowling this season.
I was about to ask you that, because as somebody who has tracked your development from a long time ago, we know that you used to bowl a lot more when you were young, and then the bowling just seems to have disappeared. What happened this year?
Well, it was all about the opportunity. I mean, the new coaches came in and they sat down with me and told me that they wanted me to do a job, and they wanted me to start bowling back. So I just went, and then it just came like that I did well this year with the ball.
Yeah, you really did. Did that in any way affect how you batted? Because most people see Brad Barnes as a very talented batsman who can bowl. Yeah. This season you were almost like the off-spinning first option for Jamaica, who could hold, could stick around in the middle. Did the bowling affect your batting?
Well, it's my first full season. Well, I could say this is my debut season for the Scorpions, so I didn't expect to be bowling so much, to be honest with you, because I was basically a batting around that could bowl a little bit, but it ended up that I've been, the hard spinner this year. Right. So I think that I kind of affected my batting in a way because I didn't expect to be bowling so much. Right. So I think that's.
I must say though, having watched most of the Jamaican innings, I think you got some rough decisions. Right?
I mean that was our season. I think that summed up our season. I mean, we were good in patches, but if you're far in the cricket, I think some of the games in crucial moments, I mean, if we got decisions to go our way, I think we would end up to win this competition. Probably. To be honest with you.
I wouldn't say win, but we certainly would have done a little.
I think we'd win.
All right, sounds confident. Well, let's talk to you, Javel. Javel is, there's a certain calm when you came to the crease. You didn't look like somebody who was out of the Jamaica team. Whenever you came to the crease, there was a certain calm, a certain belief, a certain confidence in what you could do. What led to that?
To be honest, I just tried to keep a cool head while I'm at the crease. Every time I started my innings, I tried to just keep a cool head and get a start first.
Yeah. Is there anybody that you want to reach out and thank for the part that they played? Because we as spectators, we see what happens in the middle, but sometimes we don't hear of the backstories, even if it's not persons. But prior to the season, what would you have been doing different to the other season to say, this year, I'm preparing different, I'm thinking different? What was it that you could attribute your good performances to?
To be honest, this is my first 4-day season.
Right.
I went to England last year, and I think that really helped my game this year. Yeah. Coming from England, it was good to experience other conditions and everything. Oh, but England really sums up what I did this year with my coaches in England and everything like that. It was good in England.
We have to take a break. We're talking to Javel and Brad Barnes. We're coming right back for a final segment here on Fan Central. Welcome back. We're talking to Javel again, Brad Barnes, two of the better performance for the Scorpions this year in regional 4-day competition. Brad, we're back with you. Of the 24 wickets that you took, which one gave you the biggest satisfaction?
Well, I got 6 against Barbados, but bowled a delivery against in Trinidad game against Carrier. That was I think that was the best ball I've ever bowled, to be honest.
What was it like? Can you remember?
Yeah, it was
against who?
Trinidad.
Against who was the batsman?
Carrier, Yannick Carrier.
Yannick Carrier. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a ripper. It was a dream delivery. Like the ball hit the top of half, like it started at Midland leg and then hit the top of half, spinning away. So.
And you wonder why you can't bowl them each and every day. I know what you mean. Somebody might want to know, where in England did you play and what was that like for you?
In England, I went to Beddington Cricket Club in London. It was good there. Working with Shamar was good experience, improving my game. I didn't know I could take my game from where it was to where it is now.
You played a fantastic innings of 140-something not out. That was your top scorer against Trinidad, who was one of the better bowling attacks in the competition. What can you remember most about that innings?
To be honest, going overnight on 99.
Right.
Coming back the next day knowing that you need only 1 run.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say I have a bad sleep or anything like that, but it was tough to know that you're going to turn up to just get 1 single for that milestone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the fact that you got the 100 and then you didn't throw it away, was there a plan that, listen, I'm batting as long as I can?
I was trying to get most runs as possible with the tail enders I was batting with.
Yeah.
To try get over like 350, I think, to get extra bonus point.
Right.
Yeah, so that was the plan. So I was just like batting, see if how much runs I could stretch it to as long as possible. Speaking
about batting, Brad, your bowling was great this season, but you did show glimpses at times that you could be a serious campaigner with a bat. It was a 60-odd not out. Who was that again?
Against Leewards.
Against the Leewards.
Yeah.
When, had you not run out of partners, that would have been 100 for sure. How disappointed were you that the others just wouldn't stay with you?
Well, I mean, I was in a good space at the crease, to be honest. I was a bit disappointed that, you know, somebody from the top order or somebody from the lower order couldn't stay with me. But, I mean, for the team point, I think I achieved the team point because we wanted to get 350.
Right.
And then I think we got it. So that was a plus for the team. But I was very disappointed that somebody didn't stick with me there.
Yeah. You played, as you both are alluding to, your first full season, you played 6 out of 7 games. Brad played all 7. Now, looking back, you would have had your feet completely wet now as to what first-class cricket is about. What would you take from it? What would you say you now have? What's the hardest part about dominating regional cricket? Maybe that's the question. And what do you think you'll have to do next year to maintain what you did or better for next year?
To be honest, it's my first season. Did well. You have to go back to the drawing board and try to change something new and try and improve your game.
Yeah. What aspect of your game you think most needs improving?
To be honest, all aspects need to be improved, like, because every day you're training, everyone else is training as well.
Right.
You understand?
Right.
So you're not the only one who is training. You have everyone else in the Caribbean who is hunting as well.
Yeah, I'll ask you the same question, Brad. But I remember you would Javel as a youngster bowling some nice leg break and cool clips. What happened to those?
It hasn't gone anywhere, to be honest.
You still bowl?
Yeah, I still bowl, of course I do. But I haven't bowled for Jamaica, to be honest.
Okay.
Yeah.
Brad, what do you think, now that you've had your first full season, what do you think are the areas that you will definitely need to maintain or improve as we look forward to next season?
I think I should, when it comes to like my batting, aim for a bit more consistency. I think that will come with, like, you know, like my role next year. I definitely know what my role will be next year for sure. So it's just me to just carry that in my game and my training habits, you know, to improve.
How disappointed were you that Jamaica, I'll start with you, Jamaica didn't do better. We finished 5th. Not many people expected us to win the tournament, but how disappointed were you that we couldn't have placed, say, even in the top 3 or 4?
It's disappointing because knowing what happened in Super 50, we went to the final, you know, the coaches was riveting in our heads that it didn't want to happen. What happened to the previous 40 team that we won and came last? So that was our aim for us, the team, because the majority of us played the Super 50. So we wanted to finish in the top 3, to be honest.
Right.
And I mean, it was disappointing, if it was disappointing for us because we really wanted to do better because this team is gelling very well.
Right.
And I think the people should look forward to this team because, I mean, we're young
and this team will go places. Yeah. In 15 seconds, I get in the wrap-up signal. How disappointed were you?
To be honest, as Brad says, we were looking to finish in the top 3. We didn't, but we move on to the next.
This team certainly has the potential, and most of who play can be around for another few years. Yeah. All right, so we congratulate our two cricketers. Did well, one with almost 500 runs at 43, one with 20 wickets, or 24 wickets at 25, and also contributed with the bat. We certainly wish them the best in the future, in both formats of the game. Now then, we want to take a quick break, and then we come back. We talk to one of the greatest jockeys that have ever ridden at Caymanas Park. We're talking about the great Shane Ellis. Stay with us. All right, welcome back. And as we said, we'll talk to Shane Ellis, 4-time champion, Jockey Shane. You are currently, where is it, 3rd in the jockey standings? Yeah. You think that you have a chance to go for the 2 ahead of you?
Well, basically, once I'm here, I always have a chance.
How far behind the top 2 are you?
9.
9 points. 9 races.
9 races behind the top 1, who's in front. Radish is in front right now.
You think you'll be able to overcome him? But I'm also hearing that you may be going back to Canada to ride.
No, basically, I'll be here this year.
Oh, so you'll be here this year?
I'll be here.
Is that part of your ambition to be the jockey, the top jockey this year as well?
At first, I wasn't thinking about it. I just was here saying that I would love to win some races while I'm here,
right.
And until I decided to stay.
Canada, you are expected to go back next year. How long were you in Canada for, by the way?
I went back 2023. I was there for a year and a half.
Yeah, it's a place that you've ridden before.
Yes, lots of years.
On and off. In Canada. What's the difference between competing in Jamaica and Canada?
Basically, it's very, very different because it's a whole different ball game. In saying you meet different people, different people from all over the world come and we compete. In Jamaica here, you know who you're with, who you're gonna be against.
Right.
In Canada, you have horses and trainers coming in from all over different countries.
Right. So you're less familiar with
who's coming in.
Interesting. You would have won. Is it 4 jockeys championships before?
No, I won 2 jockeys titles.
Oh, 2. Mm-hmm. You remember the years?
Yeah, 2015 and I think it's the year 2000.
The year 2000. Mm-hmm. So you've been around for a while.
Yeah.
Do you still think that you have it in you to become champion jockey in Jamaica again?
Yes, I know. I always think that because when I'm in Jamaica, I'm really one of them. I'm basically the man.
Yeah.
So I always know that. I always have it in me.
Yeah. To a racing neophyte like myself that doesn't follow the sport as closely as some others, we understand. We understand a little bit. What is the most important thing in winning the Jockeys Championship? I would think it's the kind of rides that you get.
Yeah.
How do you determine the quality of rides? Is that something that you have to have a good agent, or how is that arranged?
Yes, you have to have a good agent.
Right.
And not only having a good agent, but you have to you and your agent has to be on the right path and communicate as good as possible.
Yeah, explain though.
Well, you don't want to have an agent where you pull in this way and you want to ride. You have to communicate.
Yeah.
With the agent, you have to communicate very good because you don't want your agent to say that and you say this and you know.
Different ways. We have some races on screen that my producer is telling me that it's changed, but you could just turn a little, not too much, yeah. Mm-hmm. Can you remember this particular race?
Yes.
You are the one on the outside to the left of screen.
Yeah.
leading in that white, red, and something. Tell me about this one. Which one are you?
I'm number 1.
You are number what?
I'm number 2. I'm number 2.
On the inside?
No, on the outside of in the lead right now.
Oh, you're in the lead. How long ago was this?
Last Saturday, I think. Saturday.
This is Saturday.
Saturday time.
When you are riding at a time like this, do you pace the horse or do you just allow him to have his head?
I pace him.
Yeah. And you have to ride different horses differently?
Yeah. Not every horses are the same.
No.
No.
So this particular one, you're still leading?
Yeah.
Well, nobody going to catch you unless... who is this coming up to your right?
Basically, the number 7 was coming, so I glanced and I saw him coming, and I changed my stick, and I stepped out a little bit, just tried to ride cheekily, so, the horse that he's coming on would see me stepping out, and he will slow down a little bit.
Oh, and this one now, that's the same race?
Yeah.
Okay. How difficult is it? Have you ever had instruction from a trainer to say, this is how I want my horse to be ridden, but you convince the trainer otherwise?
Lots of time.
Tell me one. You don't have to call the name of the horse or the name of the trainer, but give me an example.
Well, basically, a trainer would come. Well, if you never ridden the horse before, or even in the morning time, you work in the horse, and a race day come, the trainer will look at the race, and then he will come and he'll suggest something. As well as lots of trainers don't really suggest it to me because they're saying that, I don't need to tell you anything because you're the man and you must know what to do. So what I normally do is when I look at the overnight and then the weights come out and thing, I would assess my races from then and there. I'd go through the race book, see my opponent, assess it from there.
So people who think that you just get up on a horse and just ride the morning and the thing are so wrong. It's a lot more preparation than that.
A lot more.
We're going to talk about the classics coming up in just a bit, but well, I don't think we have too much more time. So let's ask you about that. The classic races. When is the next one?
In May.
In May.
Yeah.
Which one is that?
I think it's the Kingston and the Portmore.
Yeah. Have you secured good rides for that? What's your chances?
Yes, I have secured good rides, and it's for basically the owner that I won the last 3 derby before.
Yeah.
So I'm riding in the filly section. I'm riding pretty perfect for Siobhan Mirage, and in the colt section I'm riding Sensational Soul for same Siobhan Mirage.
And you think you have a chance in both?
Life chances.
Life chances. All right, Shane, big up yourself and best of luck here.
Thank you.
All right, so that's our program for this evening then. Big up to all who made it possible. Big up to our producer, Headley. Thanks to you for watching. The program is repeated tomorrow morning at 8:30. God's willing, we should be back next week at the new time. That was an old time, 9 o'clock, to do it all over again. Until then, it's Orville saying so.
Thank you.